We're going to start with nationalism in India, part 8. Okay, yesterday we did part 7. We ended with the non-cooperation movement. Now what we have to do is, children, first and foremost, why was the non-cooperation movement withdrawn? Why did suddenly Gandhiji call off the non-cooperation movement? Now, when the non-cooperation movement had spread in the entire country, then why did Gandhi call off the non-cooperation movement? So that is the first thing that we are going to study today. Now, again we are going to study, now, after the non-cooperation movement, what are the changes that took place in the Indian political scenario? That is, the politicians. What did the politicians, what policies they adopted? How did they respond to the British? That is exactly what we are going to do. And then we are going to come to the Simon Commission. Because, mind you children, even after the non-cooperation movement was such a massive movement covering almost the whole of India. See, I told you, please look, they are not children, they are not, asking for independence. They only ask somebody for taxes and somebody for, not to go home and collect land and things like that. Did any one of them say we want independence? The word independence was never used. And so they brought, Simon to India to make changes in the political conditions of India. Now, that is what we are going to do in today's class. I have 2 lectures. I'm going to do that in today's both the classes. And we begin with the civil disobedience movement. Now, take down the very first question, children. Take down the very first question. Why was the NCM withdrawn? Why was the NCM withdrawn? Why was the NCM withdrawn? Now, first point, beta highlight, in February 1922. In February 1922, Gandhi decided to withdraw. In February 1922, Gandhiji decided to withdraw the NCM. The NCM. Number 2. He felt the movement was turning violent. He felt the movement was turning violent. Children, somebody messaged me, recording not on. Don't worry, children. I have another set of cameras here which are recording. So you don't have to worry that Zoom is not recording. I have another set of cameras because Zoom recording doesn't come very professional. So I have another set. Thank you, children. Thank you for being so considerate. Now, number 2, he felt the movement was turning violent in many places. In many places, and satyagrahis needed to be properly trained, needed to be properly trained before they would be ready for mass struggle. Third point, some leaders within the Congress were tired of mass struggles, and wanted to participate in elections to the Provisional Council. The Provincial Council. Fourth point, highlight the names C.R. Das and Motilal Nehru. Highlight C.R. Das and Motilal Nehru. Formed the Swaraj Party. Please highlight Swaraj Party. Formed the Swaraj Party within the Congress for a return to council politics. But younger leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose and Subhash Chandra Bose pressed for more radical mass agitations and full independence. Mass agitation and full independence. Now children, see, there was fighting somewhere here and then fighting somewhere there, and the political leaders were getting all fed up of this constant fighting. Now they wanted, suddenly they said, yeah, every time this agitation, every time this violence, now we are not achieving anything because the whole country is not coming up at one particular time. Now they are coming up at different times. So they said, let's finish with this and then let us, participate in the elections which are soon approaching. That was their attitude. But youngsters, young blood, they said, definitely not. Now we are not going to ask very peacefully, please give us, independence. Now we are going to use force. We are going to force the Britishers to take some very stringent and strong steps and give us the independence that we want. Now, next question, please take down. What factors shaped Indian politics in the late 1920s? In the late 1920s. Number 1. Now, please take down first. The first was the effect of the worldwide economic depression. See children, the World War was just over. 1919, the World War was over. All the imperialist countries, whether it was Britain, whether France, whether it was America, any of the, the imperialist countries, they were desperately trying, to cover up all their losses. And when they were trying to cover up their losses, children, they were exploiting the colonies tremendously. Now, all the soldiers who went to war, they all returned and they returned back to agriculture. After all, they were from the agricultural background. They were farmers. So, when they returned back to agriculture, those people who were earning from agriculture, their earnings became less because their godowns were full. People were doing their own agriculture. Nobody wanted to buy grain, and the taxes charged by the British or the imperialists were enormous, because more the taxes, more the money for them. So you can imagine what was the condition of the entire country after the First World War. Not only our country, all over the world. And when we started this lesson, I gave you children in the very first points what were the effects of the First World War. Now, second point. Agricultural prices began to fall. Agricultural prices began to fall from 1926. From 1926 and collapsed after 1930 and collapsed after 1930. Third point. As the demand for agricultural goods for agricultural goods fell, and exports declined, peasants found it difficult to sell their harvest and pay their revenue. Next point. Next bit. Please take down the question. I'll explain and then we'll proceed. Write a short note. On the Statutory Commission. Write a short note on the Statutory Commission. Write a short note on the Statutory Commission. Now children, see, Britishers were also not at ease. Now they realized if Amit Kumar Bishnoi, to everyone, hi. Everyone, can I read the word that you have written after everyone? Amit Bishnoi. I will deal with you and your parents after the class. Okay? Now children, after the non-cooperation movement, the Indians children, they were capable of doing absolutely anything. And the Britishers were pretty afraid of it. The Britishers were extremely afraid, children. And when the Britishers were afraid, what happened was, children, they decided that Amit Bishnoi, class 10th B, will you please stop messaging? Now, children, what we see is they decided that what we are going to do is, we are going to do something to improve the political condition which exists, in India. And for this, they set up a statutory commission. And when they set up the statutory commission, the leader of the statutory commission was Sir John Simon. That was fine till there. But in this commission, there was not a single Indian who was in this commission. Not a single Indian was invited. And when not a single Indian was invited, how do you decide about the Indians without even having an Indian representative? And so when Simon came to India, he was welcomed with black flags, with slogans, "Go back, Simon." That was what was given to him. Go back, Simon. Children, people wore black bands on their head. People tied a black band on their sleeves of their shirts. People, they kept on, "Go back, Simon, go back, Simon." That is what they were all saying, right? Now, children, in this particular time, or rather at this particular time, there was so much of violence during this time. Ballabh Pant, he was beaten up so badly, he became apahiz. He became disabled for life. And Lala Lajpat Rai, he even lost his life. He was beaten up so badly during this time. Like, lathi charge mein, he succumbed to his injuries. So this was a bad time for India. But the Indians did not like Simon Commission and John Simon coming to India. Now, please take down this and then I will proceed to the next class. Write a short note on Statutory Commission. Statutory Commission was set up. Statutory Commission was set up under Sir John Simon Sir John Simon in response to the nationalist movement. To look into the constitutional system in India, to look into the constitutional system of India and suggest changes. The problem was that the commission did not have a single Indian member they were all British. Now, the rest I'll do in the next class.